Hi everyone and welcome back to The Rewind, the place where nostalgia is happiness revisited. And today, I need to talk about Resident Evil 4. Before we do, let's take a closer look at the franchise. The Resident Evil franchise has become a juggernaut in the survival horror gaming landscape. Owned by Capcom, the first game made its humble beginnings on the PlayStation 1 back in 1996. It offered a unique gaming experience, filled with tension and scares, and it was a hit, popularizing the zombie genre. With the two sequels, Capcom kept improving the formula and storytelling. But by the fourth installment, they reinvented the franchise, sticking to the Resi core but adding action-orientated gameplay, introducing for the very first time the over-the-shoulder perspective, spawning a whole new gaming genre on its own. Aside from the mainline installments, the franchise has spawned multiple spin-offs on different platforms, and in general, fan reception has been mixed. But the studio has to be commended for showing commitment to keep experimenting and showing ingenuity and creativity and really trying to offer something new with every outing. Now by the time the 5th and 6th installment rolled around, the series took a little bit of a dip, perhaps straying too far away from the Resident Evil core of horror. But once again, the franchise reinvented itself, with its latest offerings Biohazard and Village offering the gamer a full-on, horrifying first-person experience. Now a special mention has to be made for the remakes, just showing that the studio has still not run out of fresh ideas, putting a fresh new coat of paint, rebuilding the original games into some of the best horror experiences you will ever get, with smooth controls and delicious graphics. Capcom has made sure that Resident Evil will remain in the public's consciousness for a long time to come. And the studio shows no signs of slowing down, with the 9th installment currently in development. For nearly 3 decades, Capcom has cemented Resident Evil as the king of the survivor horror hill. So just to put it into context for you guys, I was never really into horror survival back in the day. It's just something that's recently caught my attention and I'm really starting to enjoy. At the moment, I'm playing Resident Evil 4 on the PlayStation 2. Then on PlayStation 3, I'm doing a little bit of Dead Space 2, and then the remake of Resident Evil 2 I'm playing on the PS4. Needless to say that every time I pick up a remote, I'm drenched in sweat and I'm covered in a blanket of anxiety. But that's not the point. What I want to talk about today is Resident Evil 4. Now I had a really tough time getting a copy. The first copy I ordered off of Marketplace. It took me forever to get the guy to send me the stuff, and eventually when it arrived it had the wrong disc in it. So I was the proud owner of an empty case with a booklet. And then luckily I found another copy not too far from here for a pretty good price. I drove through and I got the copy and it worked. I started playing the game and just had a fantastic time. Then about halfway through, one of my children, it's still under investigation who exactly it was, decided it would be a good idea to take the PlayStation 2 disc out of the PlayStation 2 in order to get the PlayStation 4 running. Needless to say, they scratched the disc and I could no longer play that copy. Distraught, devastated, I went after another copy. So about a week ago, the game arrived and I started playing the game again. And that has kind of compelled me to make this video. So I do apologize for single-handedly almost taking the game out of circulation just to find a copy that works. I do apologize to everyone for that. Luckily there's still a lot out there, and I would recommend that you get this game. If you own a PlayStation 2 and you have not played this game, now forget that. Even if you played this game, I think it's a good idea that you get yourself another copy and play this game. I had so much fun. Out of the 3 consoles that I've currently got going, this is the PlayStation 2 was the one I kept on going back to, and it's just because of this game. I was just completely blown away. Look, when it comes to gaming, you have moderate gamers, you have really bad gamers. I'm right about somewhere here. I die a lot in video games, mostly because I can't jump. Yes, that's usually what happens to me. I play fine, and if I have to do a simple thing like jumping from one platform to another, that's usually when I die. Anyway, I was really surprised by this game. I was hooked by the story right in the beginning. So basically you play as Leon Kennedy from Resident Evil 2. He's no longer a rookie, he's a real badass government agent. And he's in this small rural town in Spain where he needs to track down the president's daughter that has been kidnapped by this cult. And from there on in, you are basically on your own. Now going back to the original Resident Evil games, I only played the second one on the PlayStation 1, but that was quite frustrating because we rented it from a video store and didn't have a memory card, so you had to keep on starting over. That wasn't fun at all. And I played Resident Evil 5 with a friend of mine. We did that whole co-op thing. That was actually a great experience on Resident Evil 5. Great campaign for co-op. Excellent. Anyway, so you get thrown into this world. You basically start off in a village, and then you have to like work your way through. And at first I was like, okay, the graphics, you know, don't look that bad for the PlayStation 2 and what it was at the time. I think it holds up really well. And I really thought that it would bother me, but you know, once I started playing, I just couldn't care less. The gameplay was so engaging. Now then I thought, you know, the controls are a little bit stupid. You know, they really underutilized the game control. And I was like, you know, it's probably just, you know, the PlayStation 2. But when I realized after a while, no, this is not because the control is dumb, it's because I'm dumb. The controls were expertly like crafted that way to add that tension. And the gameplay, the gameplay is kind of weird, but you do get used to it after a while. At first I was just taken aback by this whole, you know, the enemies are coming at you, you run out of ammo, somebody hits you, it spins you around. Then you have to press select to go into your inventory. You have to switch your weapon, pray that it's loaded, and then go back, spin around and start blasting. Like I said, you know, if the gun isn't loaded, you have to first reload and go through the whole experience. It's quite intense. It's quite intense. But you know, once you get used to that kind of thing, you know, you sort of start to maneuver yourself out of these situations because you start getting used to the gameplay and all that. The big thing about this game, you can shoot and move, so that sort of adds to the hecticness, and it's really fun in that way that once you get used to the controls and you start getting used to the way the game wants you to play, it was just a good time. It's really difficult in the beginning. I died a lot, but it sort of motivates you to persist and really go and see what the game throws at you next. And oh boy, what an experience it was. This game just keeps on going. It throws new things at you around every corner, and I think considering the difficulty and how challenging it becomes sometimes to progress, it just puts that thing in you. You just want to get it done so you can see what the game's going to do next. I mean, you start out in this rural village, these crazy villages, and then you move on to a castle, then you go to an island. It's a very linear game, and there's a lot of obstacles in your way. But what I enjoyed about it is the fact that you had some freedom, like you could track back, you could revisit other locations that you've already been at, you know, go look for ammo and stuff like that. And I really enjoyed that. Another thing I really enjoyed about this game is the fact that the game really encourages you to kill all the enemies. Like, I'm that kind of guy who I like to go into a game and I want to kill everything that I can find. I need enough ammo so that I can kill every enemy in the game. And that's what I'm all about. And this game really provided that. There was never that shortage of ammo like you find in the earlier games. We have to sort of navigate the areas without sort of engaging, really. You know, you have to sort of run away and stuff like that to conserve ammo. But in this game, yeah, it's sort of a little bit of a challenge, but not that much. It gives you enough so you can go ahead. So I really enjoyed that. I think one part that people criticize about this game is probably like it's a rescue mission and then it sort of turns into an escort mission. But I do feel in that regard that really the game removes Ashley, the girl that you have to rescue. The game removes her out of your way when you need to do really important things like fighting bosses or, you know, coming up against a lot of enemies. You can like stuff her in a box. So I didn't find that was actually an issue for me at all. I just really enjoy this game, and On another subject is the fact that when it comes to horror survival, I think this game is really, really underrated. And for the fact that, you know, it's just so well made. And you know, you have to commend, as I said before, you have to commend Capcom for, you know, just sort of reinventing the franchise, and out of that just sort of creating a new gaming genre with the over-the-shoulder first-person perspective. I'm just having such a great time with this game. And now, this being my third copy, it's intact. I'm going to lock this in a safe until I feel compelled to play it ever again. No hand shall touch this game until I've had my satisfaction. Resident Evil 4, what an excellent game. I was really blown away by this game. Another thing that it spoke to me kind of a little bit is I want to collect all the mainline games. Now, you got the remakes up until 4 right about now that you can find on the PlayStation 4, so I'm really excited about that. Now, currently, I found Resident Evil 5, a steelbook of all things, discs in great condition. So I was really, whoever got rid of that, thank you very much, because that's just awesome. I'm really enjoying to play that game. I'm doing it on a single campaign now. I'm really enjoying that as well. You know, the whole boulder punching thing, controversy, you know, it is what it is, man. It's a game. It's a game. So I'm really compelled to start collecting all the Resident Evils. Obviously, I'm gonna have to get 5 and 6 on the PlayStation 3, and then get 1, 2, 3, 4. Well, probably the HD remaster of the first one, and then 1, 2, 3, 4 on the PlayStation 4, and then Biohazard. I've got a copy of Biohazard. I still need the Village one. And yeah, just to have like a fantastic little compact collection of these horror games, I think it's just awesome, you know. And I'm thrilled to have this copy because, you know, I'm pretty sure that this will pretty soon it'll probably disappear in the next 5 years, and you'll probably only have like the remake to play. But I think the original is just, I was just totally blown away. I don't know how I missed this game. I don't know how I missed this, but you know, I'm very happy that I got to experience this now. So if you haven't played this yet, whether it be on a PC or the PlayStation 2 or even the remake, I bet, I haven't played the remake yet, but I bet it's just as astonishing as this, and probably better in the same sort of way. So yeah, guys, that's pretty much just all I wanted to say about, you know, Resident Evil 4. I really have to advocate for this game. I just thought I'd make this video just to shine a little bit more light on this fantastic game. Just probably one of the best games that I've probably ever played. Yeah, a little bit late, but hey, I did it, and it's great. It's great. Whatever they say about this game, it's absolutely true. This is one of the best games ever made. This game, it's a must-have in the collection. It's such a great game. A little bit difficult, I suppose, in the beginning, but you know, if you can push through that, you're in for a fantastic time. So yeah, guys, if you haven't given Resident Evil a try, and you're so compelled to look at a horror title, I think this franchise is the best place to start. I think it's just what survival horror gaming is all about. And the first thing you always think of is Resident Evil. And the mainline games have really provided us with years and years of fun. And I do recommend, if you come across a Resident Evil game, just go give it a try. The second and third remakes are available on the PlayStation Network. If you got the subscription, you can just download the game from there and just play them. It's a lot of fun, a lot of anxiety, and it just really just puts you in there, man. It just really puts you on a lot of pressure, and yeah, it's so much fun, really. If you're looking for a profound horror experience, I would really recommend that you give Resident Evil any of the titles. Just give it a shot. You'll have a good time, I promise. All right, guys, thanks very much for joining me for today. Thank you very much for subscribing to the channel and putting a like on the videos. Guys, I'm loving the comments that are coming through on the videos. Please keep that going. It's fantastic to talk to you guys. Yeah, join me next week for another video. Thanks, guys. Cheers.